Education ain't equal. The grass is greener on the other side. But what do I know about grass? Coming from the concrete jungle, a failed education system, forcing kids to drop out and hustle. No parental guidance, a cycle of subsidence. Let me break it down easily. 3 years of high school, no chemistry. High-level math and science classes in our schools aren't a priority. So, of course, in STEM and college, there's going to be a paucity of minorities. Tested by tests, we're not prepared for by our schools. So when we fail, we're deemed to have lower ability. Why do we test memorization, but never acuity? Ending up at a low college, a low job. So when I have kids, they end up in the same type of schools like me, my fathers and grandfathers. Because unlike the uptown folks, we have obstacles to surmount. They have more zeros in their bank account. They never have more paramount. Class size limit, our school's over by 8. But all of this was destined coming from the Section 8. With teachers leaving within the year, punishing kids that don't care, rather than understanding why don't they care. Because we deem a standard fair in which artists have to be intellectual have to be creative. Everyone is subjugated to one rule. It's like the system's objective isn't to teach in some of these schools. It's just to pass, fail, win, or lose. How do you judge a student's attitude when one school has more opportunities? Classes, trips, and community. Unlike mine, where the school has no budget, asking students to bring in loose leaf. Students can't find a place and drift like a leaf caught up in the breeze swaying through the streets. No textbooks, no honor classes, no SAT prep, so our school's average is below average. All because we students were born into a lower tax bracket. So if we have no opportunity, caught up in a cycle, how will we break free? We use our education as key, but they put a latch on the door. Other kids dream to the moon. My school constrains me to the floor. Certain classes never happen. No lab for chemistry, lack of teachers for multiple APs. You see, with a toxic environment in the home and no after-school activities, after school, the kids' only option is the streets. Schools are supposed to be a second home, but with a lack of resources, it's like they can't hold that responsibility. We were losing rest. Had an AP English class extremely stressed, because the prep books came a month before the test. In our AP bio class, a bullet comes through the window. Lost in turmoil, screams of crescendo. Thankfully, no one was grazed. We were placed into the same classroom the very next day. No farewell, no goodbye, teacher left. Then we had a substitute with no real prep. Couldn't even conduct labs because of biohazards. Metal detectors forcing me on lines, that ain't a hazard. The liquor store down the street from my block with junkies, that's not a hazard. The fried chicken place across the street raising my cholesterol, that's not a hazard. But my learning is a hazard. Graduate me with a less than 5% college readiness rate. Give me my diploma, then scrape me off the plate. Schools graduate us, but don't prepare us for college. We have no support system. Dropping out is the only option. Politicians must feel complacent about our schools because they rarely bring up education when discussing issues of our nation. Kids are pinnacles to the future of civilization. With one group in privilege, more opportunities, how will we understand and function in unity? Don't be fooled by my meticulous skills lyrically. You may be impressed by my poetry, but know this, Jay-Z and Nas taught me more vocabulary than my school ever did. You see, I feel all alone, because all I see is black and brown. The higher I go, the lighter the tone. Darkness got me feeling alone, because the more successful I become, the more lonely I feel because of my skin tone. They say some of us inner city kids give up on school too easily. But I asked my parents this question, I asked my teachers this question, and I'm asking you, how can we as inner city kids give up on school too easily if school never believed in me?